The very first targeted killing on Obama's watch, 3 days after he assumed the presidency, ended in tragedy. The CIA, aiming to take out a senior Taliban commander, instead accidentally killed an innocent tribal elder and much of his family. Obama was furious and summoned top CIA officials to the White House to explain what had gone wrong. Drone strikes. The very words have taken on sinister overtones. Extrajudicial killings, civil libertarians say. Obama's Guantanamo, a former Bush administration official calls the CIA's targeted killing program. The tribal areas of Pakistan, where al-Qaeda and other militants hide, are off limits to US ground troops. No responsible American president, given this option, would allow al-Qaeda to plot attacks against the homeland unmolested. The accuracy of drones and relative minimization of civilian casualties made them an irresistible tool for President Obama. He's availed himself of them 6 times more frequently so far than the Bush administration. But given the program's notorious secrecy, important questions about it do linger. Let's first dispatch with the notion that drone strikes are illegal. After 9/11, Congress gave the government sweeping authority to go after those responsible for the attacks and their associates. Countries also have an inherent right to self-defense under international law. For some critics of drones, it's the almost supernatural effectiveness of the weapon that seems to disturb them the most. Drone operators can linger over targets for hours or even days, ensuring that they've got the right target in sight. One American drone operator waited until a suspected militant was finished playing with his small children before pulling the trigger on the Hellfire missile that ended his life. It is precisely the pinpoint accuracy of drones that makes them such a significant humanitarian advance over other kinds of weaponry. One area of criticism that can't be shrugged off is the secrecy of the program itself. The main rationale for running drone operations covertly was to give the Pakistani government political cover for a program that is deeply unpopular with its citizens. But the notion of Pakistani deniability at this point is a farce. In April, Obama counterterrorism advisor John Brennan formally acknowledged for the first time that the US was targeting members of al-Qaeda with drone strikes. It was a good start, but much of the program remained shrouded in secrecy, including the CIA's criteria for placing individuals on kill lists. Some have a more visceral concern. Can killing from the comfort of a CIA cubicle dull our moral sensibilities? Possibly. But if the CIA could acknowledge publicly those instances when drone strikes go awry and lead to civilian deaths, the American people would be able to appreciate not just the program's value, but also its human cost. Months after the January 23rd strike, one of the surviving relatives, having just lost 5 members of his family, said something that stunned a Pakistani journalist. He said he did not oppose the American drone strikes. How could that be possible after what you've been through? Before the American offensive, he said, it was the Pakistani army that came through the villages of South Waziristan, hunting for Taliban and al-Qaeda elements. Their tactics were far more ruthless. In a time of war, civilian casualties are inevitable, no matter how precise the weaponry. The fog of war cannot be entirely lifted. January 23rd was a critical inflection point of Obama's presidency, leading to a vast ramping up of the drone war, making him a bigger hawk on drones than Bush. Still, it is hard to imagine any president not taking advantage of weapons that are so precise in targeting the enemy, but do not expose US service members to any danger. That's why drones are here to stay. Instead of railing against them as illegal assassination, liberal critics should concentrate their efforts on pushing the government to be more transparent. Survival depends on making tough choices. When it comes to the drone program, liberals should too.